School lockdown. The most terrifying moments of my life. This story is not easy to tell, but I know you've been wanting to hear something like this for a long time. It took a while, but I finally found 3 incidents that happened during school. Lockdowns, and one of them was the scariest moment of my life. It was a Friday, the last class of the week, calculus. No one cared. Spring break was only a few days away, and everyone in the classroom was restless. Our teacher must have noticed, because he decided to stop the lesson and play a game with us. We were doing a brand logo quiz on sporkle.com. It was fun, until that cold, trembling voice came over the speakers. The principal was addressing all the teachers. "This is not a drill. Initiate lockdown immediately." Chills ran down my spine. Our usually laid-back teacher suddenly froze. He rushed to turn off the lights and ushered us all into the corner of the room. My heart started pounding. At first, I thought it was just a mistake. But then, we heard it. A man was screaming down the hallway, his voice filled with rage. "I'm going to kill you all." 2 girls started crying. The man was banging on lockers, his screams getting closer. My heart was in my throat. Then, he reached our door. He started pounding on it. Everyone inside was horrified. Someone let out a small scream before covering their mouth. At that moment, I thought I was going to die. Then suddenly, silence. The man stood still for a few seconds before walking away. His footsteps faded until they were completely gone, but those seconds felt like an eternity. About 10 minutes later, the principal came back on the intercom. Apparently, a mentally unstable man had broken into the school, attacked the receptionist, and caused her to flee in terror. No one knew if he was armed. The school had no security cameras, no proper safety measures. By the time the police arrived, he had already disappeared. But the scariest part? Later that night, one of the janitors found him sleeping inside a storage closet at the back of the school. Rumors say he had a .44 Magnum in his pocket. The janitor must have accidentally woken him up because by the time the cops got there, he was gone, and to this day, we still don't know if they ever caught him. That lockdown happened in early October. The weather was gloomy, rain dripping against the windows. I was in the cafeteria for lunch when I suddenly heard 4 loud bangs. At first, I thought it was thunder, but then, the entire lunch crowd started screaming. Security guards rushed in, shouting, "Everyone get into the multi-purpose room now!" Students dropped their trays, throwing their sandwiches away as we all sprinted inside. The room was huge, but the fear inside was even bigger. The back wall was made entirely of glass, and I saw the security guards rushing to pull the curtains shut. Every exit was blocked by an adult. My friend Eric turned to one of the guards and asked what was going on. The response sent a chill down my spine. "You know the houses in front of the school?" "Yeah." "There's a mentally unstable man barricaded inside one of them. If the police try to remove him, he's threatening to kill himself and take officers down with him." But then came the worst part. The man was a registered sex offender. We were trapped in that room for over an hour. It lasted 2 entire class periods. When the lockdown finally ended, we were escorted back to our classrooms one by one. Later that day, my friend Brandy told me something that shook me to my core. That man lived in her neighborhood, and on Halloween night, a year before, she had seen him standing in his window. Do you know what he was doing? Carving his own arm open. He smeared his blood across the glass, writing something. "Don't come here, or I'll kill you." And back then, everyone thought it was just a Halloween prank. I had just graduated from college. I got a job as an IT intern at my old high school. My office was in the basement. It was messy, unorganized, but peaceful. The AC worked perfectly. We had big desks, and most importantly, it was quiet. That day I was eating my lunch when my phone rang. The school is in lockdown. There might be an armed suspect inside. The basement had no real security. The door didn't even have a lock. I turned off the lights, crawled under my desk, and sat in silence. Then, the door opened. Heavy footsteps descended into the basement. My heart was racing. Someone was getting closer to my office. Then they stopped. Silence. A second later, my phone buzzed with a new message. Dave. Dude, whatever you do, don't come upstairs. There's a gunman looking for Mr. Buckley. Red plaid shirt, black hat, be careful. I froze. My eyes slowly lifted. The man was standing right in front of me. Red plaid shirt, black hat. He noticed my change in expression. Slowly, he leaned in and whispered, "Is there another exit down here?" I couldn't breathe. My entire body was shaking. Then suddenly, I ran. Bang! A gunshot rang out behind me.